Alright, welcome back. I'm Richard Painter. We're back on with the Skyline, as you can tell by the title. We've done one of the wings already, which I didn't record because we've got other people. I don't want to be on camera and it's ever so noisy and you'll never be able to hear anything. So I've just set myself up in the booth. I know it's not ideal, but it's warm and everybody else is out there grinding away, making noise, and I can't film, hence you haven't seen any videos. So, enough of the whinge anyway, third world problem. Right, so basically we've got a crack, as you can see that. So basically it's had a big heavy bumper on the front, it's had a whack, over time it vibrates and fatigues, and basically cracks all the way down. So that's all it is, just wants welding back up. It is having a big fiberglass front bumper, which you will see some of that in this video, I think. I didn't film that either. I've done quite a bit of work on that, but I will go through it and show you what we're doing, so hopefully you're up to date as well as I am. We've got a bit of rot on the bottom here. Nothing major, but it needs to be dealt with. We've welded up the sills, inner sills, that type of thing. I've got some pictures of that. If I can figure out how to put them on here, that's a bit close. I will put them on so it makes sense, but that took quite a while. A lot of the inner was rotted out, and then the inner further than that was rotted out as well, so we've had to work our way back out. So now the sills are done. We've got a little bit in the engine bay to finish, the wings to weld back up. The snapped bolts that were in there as well, which is awfully nice. We've had to take all them out as well, so they're all done as well. You lose 3 hours doing that, which is a bit of a joke. Not 3 hours, but you know what I mean. So basically, yeah, we'll get this set up and get it welded in. I have already made, I don't know where I've put it now. I have already made a piece of this. Like I said, everybody was grinding earlier and I was in the back rooms, which is where our metal gear is. So this piece, excuse the camera angle by the way, that piece there, we've got a replacement, if that makes sense. So if you're interested in how we did that, it was basically, we got a sandbag and a mallet and stretched this area out to give us the bulge on the back to replicate this piece. I did try with my fly press, but I don't have, I needed quite a precise bit of tooling and I haven't got it yet, so when I get some more time I'll have to make some more tooling for it. I'll see if I can buy one offline or something like that. This is purely for the people that are interested, by the way. The hole I've just drilled, the lower edges here, they were just cut. This edge on the side here, you see it's raised. That's basically to duplicate this edge, which is also raised. I like to try and get them as close as we can, so that's why that's got that on there now. So all I've done with that is very gently, I will show you this stuff by the way, because I know a few of you have commented and asked. I've made loads of different dollies, if you like, that they're mounting the vise. And for stuff like that I've got like a 10mm square bar, tool steel bar, and it's perfect for that because you can just, even keeping the curve in it, you can just tap over enough of what you need and you can make pretty much any edge. Same as on the front edge here on the wing. It's difficult to fold that, or you'd have to fold it in a bigger piece or have such a heavy duty precise folder to be able to do that, big box pan or something like that. but because that's got a curved edge to it on this occasion, it would be easy for you to cut a flat piece out, put the curve in it, and then just tap that round something, you see. It's only like using a handheld dolly on a rubber mat or something would have maybe done the same thing, you know. It's just whatever you've got to hand. So right, we'll get set up on the front here. I'll get an earth cleaned up, and then we'll just stitch them bits back in on the front, because that's the quick bit, and then we'll start on this back piece. I think we're back on. Right, I've just cleaned up a section, you can't even see me, can you? So that's bare metal now. So I'm just going to, I need a camera first. I'm just going to use that for me for now, there we go. But I have noticed the edge of the wing's out of shape, which I'll show you. So we just need to tap that back into shape. We'll get a tack on it. Make sure it's all in the right spot and everything like that, clean it all up. And then we'll just weld it up then. Should be fairly simple, hopefully. Right, back in the mount. Right, hopefully you can see that alright on the camera. I was trying not to get it too close, but you can, I don't know if you can see properly or not, you can just see it's out of shape. Hopefully this shows up on the camera, but you can see it's split anyway. It's out of shape, so what I'm going to do is just clean up this area with a strip and clean. Probably just rejig the camera again as well, actually, and then we'll clean it up. God, it's a personal struggle with these cameras. Right. Safety specs is a must. Make sure your glasses are on. You want to protect your eyeballs, you've only got two. Right, you can just see now, hopefully anyway, if the camera angle's any good or not, I don't know. It might make more sense from that side. You see why people struggle with these bloody cameras and that. So I've just got like a little dolly. This is what they call a finger dolly. Slide it through your finger so you got a sharp point, rounded and flat area. I use it for stuff like this because it's small enough, nimble enough to get in there. And now the camera's moving everywhere. Right, so we're not too bad. Yeah, so what we might have to do is put a couple of... Oh no, let's drop back in there actually. That's better than what I thought, so that's even better. Right, so what I need to do is put my earth on. Which side did I clean up? That side. So that's in there. So all we're aiming for at the minute is, hopefully you can still see because I keep kicking that thing. All we're aiming for at the minute is just basically to get the metal together. So I'm just going to start at the bottom here, try and get a tack in there, watch your eyes. Beautiful. Boom, look at that. So just going to tweak that one ever so slightly. Well, let's drop back in there, beautiful. Look. So you can see now, you can see where the crack was. Just stitch that back up. So what I'll do now, I don't want to bore you filling up a video full of me welding, but I'll get that welded up. We'll get the belt file out. We'll just grind that off. I'll show you what that is as well. I should tell you. For the people that don't know, there is a little gap. Did I bring it in with me? I was trying to set myself up. I don't think I brought it in with me. There is a little gap just here, which might need a tad more welding, but we can attack that one anyway. Right, I'll go and sort that out and answer the phone as well. I can hear it ringing. Back in a moment. I don't know if I showed you or not actually. This is what we call a copper spoon or spatula. It's basically a piece of copper buzz bar, if you like. So if you ever get any like holes you need to fill up or something like that, put that behind and just weld over the top, because the MIG welder won't stick to the copper. So then you can bridge a gap perfectly and just weld up any small holes. I've just used it on there because I just needed to build the edge ever so slightly. It's not worth making. The piece of metal I would need to put in there would probably melt and disintegrate. That's how small it is. So we can use something like this, you see, build it up with a bit of weld and it's sorted. So also with grinding, you can see we're not the first people in the vehicle or to paint it, which is always a nice thing. You can see the layers. We've got like paint, primer, paint, primer, paint, primer by the looks of it. So that wing's been painted at least 3 times. So the rest of the car's pretty good, to be honest with you. I mean, we've had rotten sills, we've had rotten wings, but we've also had a lot worse. So it's actually pretty good, so that's a good thing for the customer. Right, so I'll get this cleaned up and we'll start on that back side then, on the bottom of the wing, sorry. The back of the bottom of the wing. Just jumping back in there quickly, again I've had a fair few people ask from time to time. So if I'm welding any of this stuff in, so if we're welding any of the wings up or anything like that, or anything small, arches, whatever we've been doing. If you do get any like pinholes or anything like that, just once you've ground it down, just weld them back up, and then just grind them down afterwards, you see. You don't want to put too much heat into, especially something as thin as this wing. You put too much heat into it, you'll just warp it all over the place, and then you'll never get it back how it should be, so you end up using a bit of filler or trying to stretch it, and it's never the same. The only thing I would say is, if you are going to be welding anything like this, make sure that once you finish the outside, you get the inside of whatever you're welding cleaned up as quickly as you can. Anything that we haven't got access to, we would make access from the inside and use cavity wax straws, which we can direct wherever we want. We can fill everything up, but as much as you can, do your best to get to as much as you can, because all that'll do, because that'll burn off anything that's behind it, and then you've got bare metal there sat behind your panel. And a lot of vans and stuff like that, they'll condensate cars as well, and then over time that seam will just start pushing its way back out again, or rotting up the inside of your panel, and then you're chopping even more, painting even more, just for the sake of having an hour or two once you finish the job, making sure you've done all this, you see. I try and epoxy, zinc spray as much as possible behind everything before I put the front one on. So like on the sills, we've put the inner sill in, we've epoxied all of that. When that's dry, the next morning we've welded the outer sill on, so everything's coated. And even after that, especially on the Skyline, it's got pre-stamped holes all the way down the sills where the body kit was. So we're just going to use them to fill up with cavity wax as well. So your cavity wax is like 12-14 quid a can. Your car's worth that at least, you know. We normally factor it in. If we're doing anything like that, we'll factor it in to the job. We do it anyway, whether you've asked for it or not, but it's just something we do because it prolongs everything then. Also, as daft as it sounds, it's almost a bit like a sound deadening as well, because it's like a thin sheet, if you like, of clear cavity wax or wax oil, or what's that other brand people are using now? Lanagard, that type of thing. It's quite liquid fine. Just get something on the back of it if you can. Anyway, waffling. So we need to do the back of the bottom of the wing now. Sorry. Get there in the end, won't we? Hopefully there's a bit more access on this one, so you'll be able to see a bit more. Apologise about the camera angles, I'm not a cameraman. Back in a moment. Right, back again. I had to go make a coffee. All by myself as well, because everybody's gone now, so. When in doubt, do it yourself, I suppose. Right, next one. So we've got the plate that I've already made. I made it earlier. When we get more time, I will show you. I've already told you that anyway. I will show you the metal room and basically what we use. And everybody's different. Everybody will do it a different way. If you've got 50 grand's worth of metal tooling, you'll probably just stamp that out of a piece of tooling. Whereas most people have to make that. So basically I've just tried to replicate, reproduce what was on the Nissan wing originally. Just let me get you situated. Right, hopefully you can see what we're doing. Get a tripod. It'll be easier, they said. That's what they told me. Get a tripod, it'll be easy. You trip over the thing, you're moving it around everywhere. It's not high enough, it's too high, it's too low, you can't get it close enough. If any of you got any ideas, by the way, of the best or an easier way, please let me know in the comments. It would be appreciated, and then I can do more of these videos without it being a pain. Right, I'll show you anyway. So I will clean it up in a minute. We're just going to cut this piece out first, just to show you what we're doing. Where are we? Right. So that's our new piece. We were just cutting out this thin rotten section. I've taken it further anyway than I need to, purely because if it's rotten here, it's probably rotten here, and then if we go to here, it should be fine. So we'll just line that up where it was. Not sponsored at all, by the way, unfortunately. I think it's only Colin Furs that gets sponsored by Milwaukee. But they're about £1 or so, £1.50, something like that. And they really do pretty much right on everything. So definitely worth the money if you're in Screwfix or something like that. They have them. I'm sure there's plenty of other companies. You might be able to buy them online. I basically buy a pot of 50 at a time. Not 50, what was it? I've got a big pot anyway of them. Each pot will last me a couple of years. You don't have to go and do that, like you can just buy one if you're better at it than me. We end up finding these all over the workshop. They all go back in the pot and then we grab another pot again. So, but they are fantastic and they last a long time as well. Right, so we need to right, so we've cut it out, cleaned it all up. There's the old piece. We'll do away with that. So you can see we've got the new piece. That's going to go in something like that. So I'm going to try and set it up on here again. And then see if we can get it hopefully you can kind of see what we're doing. So what we'll do first there is we'll put the earth on. And then we'll try again. And get that the right way around. Right. Yes, I should have gloves on. Yes, I should have a mask on. Now, just for this exercise, I'm just going to stitch in each corner. I've got a bit of hammer and dollying to do just to finish the edge because it needs to curve and marry each other. And then basically weld that along that. Right, oh, the battery's about dead again. Just so I've shown you how to change the battery on here. But you can see it's welded in now. So I'm going to let that cool just for a minute, get the grinder, finish my coffee, and we'll come back and carry on with it. Looks better, doesn't it? Shut that door, compressor's running. Right, so what we'll do now, we'll turn that over We'll grind out any bits. If there's any low areas, we can just drop a bit of welding down, grind them back, and then we'll just have to hammer and dolly just to try and improve the curb a little bit, that's all. Right, we'll swap around them. As you can see, sound like what's his name, Richard from the Taroni Brothers. Must be a Richard thing. So as you can see, welds come through, so you got full penetration, leaving a gap all the way around. Nothing's distorted, nothing's raised or lowered or anything like that. So we'll just grind that off now. If we spot anything, we'll just tack that back in. Right, set you back up. So that's where the old side skirt was bonded on. Hope you can see now. So there's a couple of little low areas just inside here. Just while I'm here and I've got the welder out, I'll just do them quickly. Won't hurt anything. Assuming you can see what I'm doing anyway, yeah. I think we're about there with that. Right, that's enough for that tripod anyway, it's well annoying. So now you can see it's all welded back in. Just wants a tiny bit of, just gone a tad sharp here. So we'll get hammer and dolly on that and just sort of smooth that transition out a little bit more. But that's about it for this one. I will just give you a quick brief look at what we're doing in the workshop. Turn some lights back on as I'm the only one here, so bit of a trike going on here. No, I don't normally do trikes. It's for a family member, that's why I'm doing it. Nightmare job, that one. Anyway, skyline. So you can see I've just walked past everything. So we've done some fiberglassing in the back here. There was basically some big holes with a raised edge. The customer didn't want them. So we've ground all them smooth, re-fiberglassed the back end, which will make more sense in a minute. Can't you tell how organised that is? Right. So you can see, if I just spin that around, that's where they used to be. Some great big holes in there. There's no need for them. The indicator fits down here. I wasn't aware of that initially, otherwise I'd have fitted them already before I'd primed. Not a problem, I'll just have to redo a couple of bits. Now the reason we primed before finishing everything, I don't know if you can see that little pinholes. Now I went round this 2 or 3 times with a bit of dolphin glaze, filling up all the edges, and even when we applied some heat, with it being fiberglass, you get like little pops and stuff like that down it. Any sinkages, there's a term for it, I can't remember what it's called now, but basically we do that on purpose. So now anything that's there now, there shouldn't be anything else, so we can deal with them, straighten everything up properly. We do that more so because we've got to fit this bumper. It's not actually meant for it's meant for a skyline, but we've actually got to fit it. We've got to drill the holes and make sure it mounts correctly. Once we've finished messing around too much with it like that, that's when we'll start doing the detailed work, and we'll show you that stuff. So spoilers off. These are the rear spats, front grille. This is ferrozinc. I will show you that because I was asked about that as well in the past. So ferrozinc basically converts, it's basically like a rust treatment if you like. So if there's any, that was very minor, almost like a little rust worm if you like, nothing major. So we've just done it on where we found that, just to make sure we eliminate anything. There's nothing on the inside anyway, so if we can compressor, we can actually see in there. So spoilers off, prepped. I don't know if you remember the first video. If you don't, I'm going to try and put it in there so try and remember. So we've got this one had a bit of damage, so we've sorted all that out now. We're welding up these holes here. I don't know why they've got numbers on them, but 2, 3, 4. No idea why there's numbers written on there, but they're getting welded up as well because he has a big front mount cooler on it. They're not required anymore, and rather than leave a gaping hole or try and find some massive grommets, because we've welded up a section on the other side, we may as well finish welding that. But we just wanted to fix the stand panel first, so we've done that. The wings are fixed now, so basically we can weld that up while we've got full access. We can dress all that out, make sure it's all clean and tidy. We can get a bit of primer on that. The wings can go back on then. We've got to paint the engine bay. In fact, we'll leave the wings off, paint the engine bay, put the wings back on, because I need access to that slam panel. And that's pretty much it really. The bonnet's in good order. Boot lid had a tiny bit. There's a couple of little dingers around it, nothing major at all. Biggest problem being the sills, which is done now, and that front bumper just ate a couple of days worth of labour. And to be honest with you, we've added stuff to it and we might have to modify it again, we've since found out. So there might be 3 or 4 days work in that front bumper. It's an expensive front bumper. So naturally, I think the exhaust is big enough on that one. For those of you that are interested in the trike, we did paint it about, let me turn that off. We did paint it. You can't win, can you? We did paint it about a year ago, if you can still hear me. We've been doing loads and loads and loads of stuff to it. It was a mess, to be honest. Brake pipes leaking, cylinders leaking. Brake pipe had a kink in it, so it wouldn't work properly anyway. No mounting points for the brake pipe. It was cable tied to the axle, which is not what we're leaving. So right, anyway, waffling. If you like the video, like, share, subscribe. It would be beautiful if you can. Helps the channel and everything. Just somebody, if you like kind of what we're doing, there's plenty of other people. Chris Allen's always a good watch, professional struggler. Cracks me up, that guy. And I watched loads of people, but the Baz Welder Fabber, I like all that industrial heavy stuff, if you like. So that's machinery. So that's always worth a watch. Yeah, anyway, waffling again. But yeah, so if you want something else to check out then. Dave's Garage as well, actually. Grant Smart Repairs. I can't think, there's plenty of others I watch. Can't remember now. But yeah, anyway, you'll find them if you're interested. Right, keep an eye out for next time. Like I said, I will try and keep the videos coming. It's difficult when we've got people that don't want to be on camera and do want to be on camera, and somebody's not bothered, but then somebody's grinding. You won't be able to hear me, and so we film when we can. But I'll see you next time. Bye for now.